All right, welcome to the latest installment of the Run to Daylight podcast. I'm your host, Todd Burrows. And once again, I am going to be doing a live draft on the FFPC, brought to you by our friends over at the FFPC. As I did this yesterday, but you get a chance to see the actual draft board. I will be putting people in my queue. I explained this yesterday. The way I like to do it is put everyone in who I'm willing to take. After the big three, I pick four. Not ideal, not my best spot. There's about 6, 7 guys I have all about equal. The good news is a lot of the guys I have at the end of the way the second round has played out recently, a lot of the guys I would take early second are often there in the late second these days. But I looked over my exposure, and for a few reasons, one of which is how much talent is in the pool. I want to make sure that one of the best guys that I have on my board, Jonathan Taylor, doesn't slip to some of my friends. But you could take Henry, Kamara, Zeke, Waller, Tyreek Hill. I considered all of them before doing this. Yesterday, I took Zeke instead of Kelsey, and I kind of regret that one, actually. But I wanted another Zeke share. I think you could also take Eckler there at the 1-4. So I am going to take Jonathan Taylor. I think I'm going to put Eckler in, and I'm going to put Tyreek in because those are the other guys and Henry. Maybe we'll flip a coin. I got to grab my phone. So we're going to take a break. The draft is here in a minute 41. Go to myffpc.com to sign up for an account. And then once you're there, you can go check out the FFPC main event, the football guys, the best ball tournament, classic draft leagues, best ball leagues, best ball slim leagues, VP cash leagues, superflex leagues, and the home of dynasty leagues. A lot of great dynasty leagues on the FFPC. So I'm going to take a 30-second break, and I will be right back because I forgot to grab my phone. All right. I am back. Sorry about that. I went from 8 viewers to 4 viewers when I did that. We're a small pod here, small pod. I wonder how many of those are my opponents. All right, so we're going to start this draft in a moment. I forget now what I was going to use my phone for, but yeah. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do today while we're waiting, I'll go over it. This is from my friend Fantasy Mojo's website, 2021 FFPC draft boards. I picked one football guys from yesterday and one best ball tournament from yesterday that I thought were interesting and we will review. Wow, that was quick. On the clock. Holy. Oh, man. I thought Cook made it for a second. That was hard. All right. So I've got Taylor, Eckler, Hill, and Henry. Now I remember what I was going to use my phone for. I really don't know which one I want. I've got equal ownership of all of them. So I am going to go D4 and roll. And it was number 4, Derrick Henry, who I really didn't want here. But, boy, now I have to make a decision. One more time. Let's see if it comes up 4 again. Oh, no, I see what happened. It wasn't 4. All right, we're going to go with Eckler. That's who came up. So I know that isn't probably a hugely popular pick for 1-4, but I could use some more Eckler. I could use some more Taylor. I could use Tyreek. I have a pretty good amount of, and Henry. I have a pretty good amount of for what I want from him. So that is that. All right. So now, for those of you who didn't see what I like to do, I like to go and fill out my board. And for the second round, I like going to the number. So 24, 25, 26, 27. I got to get 28 names up here. All right. Essentially. So let's see. And 28 minus 6 is 22. So 1, 2. Let's go back to running back. There's no quarterback I want here. So Zeke, Barkley, Taylor, Akers, Chubb, Gibson, Harris. And you're not going to know who I like because I'm just going down and adding everyone that I have in the tier. I would even consider Dobbins. Wide receiver, Hill, Adams, Hopkins, Ridley, Metcalf, Jefferson, who I took yesterday, A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, C.D. Lamb. So I'm going to have more names than I need, and Kyle Pitts. All right, so I've got 22 names, and you can see I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I could take 4 names out if I want. I'm definitely not going to grab C.D. Lamb, and I've got enough Dobbins that I'm not going to take him. So 20 names, 18 to go. Means I'm going to get 3 guys that I really like to start this. So this is a pretty good room. The RotoViz guys are unauthorized cinnamon. They're in the number 12. I bet. Let's see if I can get. I think Diggs already went. I don't know who they'll take. Taylor's there. I think they're going to take Taylor. Let's see how good I am. Taylor, and I think they're going to go Taylor and maybe Ridley here. Let's see if I'm right. They're down to 20 seconds as they debate. Danny Muller is here. He's the Blitzers. Well, let's see if he changed his name. No, number 8. He took Diggs. So that's a bit of a surprise for me. I'll have to ask him why he did that. There's some other really good teams in here. Let's go over to the owners. We've got Henry. Henry made it. So Henry Muda will be in, so I know I'll get some questions. Bill Quirby's made it. Not sure who Vincenzo is, but he's next to me. So this is a good room. This should be a tough draft. And they went Taylor and Devontae Adams. So I got the Taylor right, and I picked the wrong wide receiver. And I honestly need more Adams. I have no. I know some people have problems with him at 2-1. I don't. I probably would have went Ridley, but I really like things. So thank you, Fantasy Mojo. I appreciate that. And all right, so let's get over the comments. Nobody so far. I will start going over the draft room after the next pick. A couple other things that I keep open. I keep open the last 5 days ADP from Mojo's site. I keep open my exposure, very important. Tiebreaker for me. I talk a lot about tiebreakers. That is a good one. Obviously, I keep open the StreamYard. All right, so let's see. Najee went. That's good. I didn't want him. Gibson went. Akers went. I would have liked an Akers if he had fallen that far. I'm starting to get a lot of one guy here because I really like him. Let's see if he makes it. Chubb went. Jones went. I mean, I like both Mixon and Hilaire here a good bit. But I went running back first. So there's also Hopkins and Ridley. On the way back, I think I can get a wide receiver that I really like. And I think running back will be slow. So let's look at bye week. I have number 7 for Eckler. So 10 and 12 is fine. And I really don't care. I mean, I've got more. You go Mixon. I've got 9% in the tournament, which is fine for me. And the Clyde, I've up to 21%, which is getting high. So I'm going to go a little different here, and I'm going to take Calvin Ridley. I was willing to see the RotoViz boys take him at 2-1. I think he could be the number 1 receiver this year. I doubt I'll get a running back going back, but I could add Dobbins back into the mix because I wouldn't hate him there. And I'm going to take Ridley. So a lot of receptions out of my first 2 picks. Now let's see what everyone else does. El Jefe is Henry. What's up, Henry? That's my soccer game, but you guys don't. I'm going to do a podcast on that. It's actually by a company called Play Games, Plaay, and it's a really fun soccer game. And I actually made my own file for it. That's coming soon, a podcast. I'm going to start doing some. I've always played like Stratomatic type games, and I'm trying to grow my channel, so I may actually start doing that. Any questions on the draft? You guys pop in. DK Metcalf and let's see who else they got. And Dalvin. So that's a good start for my boys. And there goes Clyde for Red Blaze. That's really good value for him. But, you know, I've gotten burned having too much, and I've written an article on how important it is not to get too much of anybody in the first 2 rounds. So I don't mind going Ridley here. Just to go over my ownership of Ridley. I've got 16% of Ridley, which is getting up there too. But I think Ridley and CEH are 2 of the better values on the board right now in the late 2nd round. So Mixon went. So basically what you're looking at here now is you're probably going to, there goes Michael Thomas. I would have taken him if he was there. I'm definitely not taking Justin Jefferson. So he's out. Dobbins. So he went with three running backs start. And so, oh no, he's got Kelsey, Edwards, Hilaire, and Dobbins. Interesting start for the Red Blaze. You've got McCaffrey with Mixon and Michael Thomas. And then Justin Jefferson went. So that's always nice. All right. So it's really going to be hard for me not to take A.J. Brown here. But I don't have enough Terry McLaurin. Only 7% McLaurin. But boy, I can't take him over A.J. Brown. Let me look at my... A.J. Brown, I've got 17%. I don't have a lot of Keenan. Only 2% of Keenan Allen. Boy, if I'm going to go down, though, I love McLaurin this year. Yeah, you know what? Yesterday I played around and didn't take my best players. This time I'm just going to take the best players. This is a tough room. It's not a draft to do too much with exposure. I think A.J. Brown is, and if I end up with 20% A.J. Brown, a lot of it in the 3rd round, I am not going to be an unhappy guy. All right. So now I'm willing to take Mahomes coming back, even though I don't have any Chiefs. Running back Swift, Carson, Montgomery, Sanders, Jacobs, and ETN for the 2 picks. Wide receiver Keenan, McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, Woods, Evans, Godwin, Jones, Moore, Kupp, Chase, Lockett. Early 5th, Higgins. I could use some Ayuk. All right. And then tight end, Hawkinson and Andrews. All right. So, did I see? It didn't even come up. That happens sometimes. So you always got to check back over here when you're up to make sure that someone you missed. But 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have exactly 20 players. So I love when that happens, right? This is basically my tier break. What you're seeing is I talk a lot about tiers. This is how my tier breaks work. So, everyone in the tier that I'd be willing to take is in here. So obviously, almost anyone here I really wouldn't mind taking. There is one guy that I took yesterday that I don't want again. So I'm going to throw Jamar Chase in. I think I missed him. Nope, I didn't miss him. All right, we'll just see how this plays out. There's a couple other guys I can throw in if Kupp comes my way. All right, let me see how good I am at predicting the boys. Wouldn't be shocked to see them go back to. No, they're going to take a tight end here. So I'm gonna. Ooh, Hawkinson is gone already. I wouldn't be shocked to see them take Andrews as one of these picks. But maybe not. I haven't seen them take him that early. I do know they like tight ends. I'm expecting wide receiver, or wide receiver tight end here. If I had to guess at the wide receiver, could be it's DJ Moore. All right. So that makes me feel good because I have a lot of DJ Moore, and Sean is really good at wide receiver people. So I like that. Let's see if they go Andrews here. I'm going to guess Andrews. Are we having fun yet, folks? Let's go over to the board. Did you a favor since I didn't take Jefferson. Thank you, Henry. What is it do, Todd? I'm Bucks champs. What it do, Todd? I'm Bucks champs. Hey, Bucks, where are you in this draft? Okay, you're 4-3. We'll look at your team. We'll look at your team after you make your next pick. Jay Smith and Sin. Don't sin, Jay Smith. DJ. Yeah, I it's a little early, but he's in the tier, right? And I don't have a problem with it. It's a little early, but I don't have a problem with it. It'll be, and they did take Mark Andrews, so I know my boys. Pretty good. I know them. Not mad at all that they're on the other end of the draft. All right. So let's see. We're going to get to draft boards, but this is early. And let's see what Jay Smith and Son did. So Bucks champs. Hopefully you don't end up being Bucks chumps. Barkley at 110. I mean, I don't like Barkley, but 110 is about where I would start taking him. Coming around on Akers and Cooper and McLaurin were good picks. So nice balance. One of the things I talk about is unless you're really comfortable with a zero RB build like the RotoViz guys are, I like to stay balanced. It's one of my tiebreakers. I won't drop a tier to do it, but you can see I'm at 1-2. So if a wide receiver drops to me here, then I very, very likely will come back with a running back, even because the rest of the running backs, I don't have them far behind. Josh Jacobs, like ETN, Mike Davis, Javonte, and Hunt, I don't have very far behind this tier. In fact, if I was going a couple picks out, they would be the next ones I added. So let's keep an open mind and an open heart. Jay Smithinson, I love DJ. I drafted him at like 55 yesterday in these, so 36 kind of crazy. Again, man, go get your guy. In a month, the ADP is going to be all over the place. And if that offense looks good in preseason, and I think it's going to, and people are going to realize that with Curtis Samuel gone, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are going to see increased workloads. All right. So Patrick Mahomes is here at 410. I mean, that's a great value. Let's take a quick look. He goes for 2. So I'm getting 8-pick value on a guy that's the best quarterback in the league. I'm going to be able to come back and get a good tight end. I mean, a good running back. Is there any wide receivers or running back? I mean, I like Miles. I normally would take Miles here, but I'm not going to pass on Mahomes. I've got a lot of Mahomes because he does drop. And let's see what my ownership is. I haven't taken him much lately. Yeah, I'm down to 13%. So this will get me up close to 15%, which is really kind of the cutoff point that I would want on a 4th-round wide quarterback. But I've explained how because Mahomes is going 2 rounds later than he did last year, and all the other top quarterbacks are going 2 to 3 rounds earlier than they went last year, other than Lamar. Why not take the best guy? Because in the next 10 to 15 picks, you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks come off the board that aren't going to give you the steadiness that Mahomes does. And what that does, even without this, it makes me wish I had taken Tyreek at 4. But what that does is it means I really don't have to address Mahomes' quarterback again till very late in this draft. So I kind of like that. I like that my boy Henry took Miles Sanders next. And there goes Cooper Kupp, which is good. So there's 2 running backs on my tier that are still here. And there's some decent wide receivers. So we'll see what happens. I prefer to go running back here. I don't care if you guys know. Because I don't mind dropping Mike Davis into the queue and Devontae. So I'm going to get a running back that I like most likely. All right, let's start looking for correlations. Mahomes, week 17, has Cincinnati. So that is T. Higgins. Eckler plays Denver. So there's no Denver right now. I don't remember who Atlanta and Tennessee play. Let's look. Falcons play the Bills. And Falcons play the Bills. And my brain just slipped. Tennessee plays. Who do the Titans play? The Dolphins. All right, so nobody that I have to worry about for correlations right now. I'm going to get either Jacobs or ETN, just in case I get both. Josh Jacobs, I have 9%. ETN, I only have 2%. All right, so I have my choice. I did take an ETN share yesterday, but I do think he fits this build. I think Jacobs is the better value. Week 7, Eckler has a week 7. So I'm going to go Jacobs, even though no sense in having your top 2 running backs have the same bye. Remember, I talk about tiebreakers and how to do tiebreakers. So Josh Jacobs comes over as the next player. Easily could have gone Higgins here to match up with Mahomes, but he's moved up a lot. I have a lot of Higgins. If you look, I have it's down to 14%. I was over 20. I was taking him like crazy in the 6th round, and as he's dropped, I've pulled back. So that's that. All right, let's go look at you guys. Any questions, comments? Nothing right now. All right, so let's hide that. All right, let's go over to these draft boards. And what the point that I'm trying to show is how many teams eliminate themselves or put themselves behind the 8 ball in every draft. This is the big advantage with roster construction. So for now, we're just going to go through this football, guys. It was the 11:55 at night. And one of my key things is if I draft an early quarterback, I don't take a second quarterback. So there's one big error right away for Team 1. Team 2 took Fields. When are you going to play Justin Fields when you've got Patrick Mahomes? And think about who you passed on. Rager, Davis, Kmet, all these guys you passed on to take Justin Fields. You're almost never going to start the guy. You're gonna now Aaron Rodgers and Allen, but now you're sitting there. What are you going to question every week who you're going to start? I don't get it. Now this team was interesting. Lawrence, Watson, and Love, and I never take 3. I don't like 3. I think it's put him behind the 8 ball, but all of them are after round 14. Watson has huge upside, and Love, if Rodgers doesn't play, has upside. So I don't hate it, but it isn't ideal. Team 4, Stafford and Fitz. Okay. That's right around where I would take a second quarterback. We're not looking at stacking or anything like that now. This one, Kyler and Tannehill. Why? Herbert, he waited till the 19th round for Daniel Jones. I actually don't have a problem with that. Brady and Cousins is fine. Burrow, and then he waited for Darnold. Fine. Hurts, Ryan, and Wentz. Why? So what are we up to? 4 teams that have made an error at quarterback. Wilson followed by Lance. Again, if you're going to draft Wilson in the 8th, why take a quarterback in the 12th? I don't know. I wouldn't. Now, this is the team 11. We're going to follow them as we go. Lamar at quarterback, and then Dak, but they didn't take one till round 20, an upside guy in Tua. I don't hate it. But look at how many teams just didn't pass that simple hurdle. All right. Now I have to fill my queue. I'm not taking a quarterback. I don't care how many there are, but I do want to count that one of them should possibly go by then. All right. So Davis, Javonte, Hunt, Gaskin, and Edmonds. With having 2, I could put Robinson in for the second pick and Sermon in for the second pick. Wide receiver, Golladay, Beckham, Claypool, Sutton, Anderson, Juju. You notice I skipped Jerry Jeudy. You noticed I skipped DJ Chark. Devonta Smith and Tyler Boyd. And that's early for Debo, but I'll put him in. And a tight end, Goddard and Fant. So 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so I'm good. I got plenty of guys in my queue. I don't have to worry. All right. So let's go down to, let's look at some things. All right, so Chiefs, go with Boyd. Denver, there's a Denver guy in here. I could put Judy in, actually, because of that. I do have a correlation, week 17, and I don't have any Judy. Although I like Sutton more. So I'll take Judy back out. I'll put Sutton in. I don't know how I missed Sutton. I didn't. That's how I missed him, because I didn't. Jacobs, Las Vegas. Who do they play? I know all this, but my brain, the Colts. See how I'm preparing my mind for the pick? There goes Noah Fant early. I would have. I have a lot of Noah Fant. He's one of my most owned players. And they take their first running back and they take a second running back, actually. It's early for them to take their second running back, but it's hard to argue. Hard to argue. They're in this end of the fifth. That's pretty good value on Javonte. All right. So looking. Yeah, there goes Danny. See, Danny's just scooping value. He's such a good drafter. Hunt, Najee Harris, Ayuk, Godwin, Diggs, and Hawkinson. See how good drafters? Very balanced team. Very balanced team indeed. He was able to balance, and he got a good value on Kareem Hunt, I believe, at 6.5. He's been going at 6.2. So it's a little value, but you book it. All right, so what I'm going to review now is the 6th round. Thielen, Hunt, Goddard. So I would have loved a tight end, but neither of them made it back to me. Again, for balance. But Hunt, Goddard, Ayuk, Edmonds, Gaskin are both values. Beckham is a value. All right. So Sermon and Gaskin went. So running back thinned a lot. I do like Chase Edmonds, and I am a little weaker at running back than I am at wide receiver. I think I've got two really good wide receivers. That being said, I like Odell a lot, but I have a week 13 bye with A.J. Brown, so that's not ideal. Galladay I like a good bit. Let's see. 9% of Galladay. 13% of Beckham. I'm going to pass. I'm going to take Chase Edmonds. I think having a third running back that I feel pretty good about here, I'm going to get a wide receiver that I like coming back. I don't think I'm going to take James Robinson out now. I don't think that Galladay or Beckham is going to make it back to me, but there are some good choices coming back that I don't mind having. But passing on Beckham there was hard. But I just felt like Eckler is a good running back, but Jacobs is going to be spotty. So having a third guy that I feel good about. And there goes Galladay. And then we'll get back to that draft board. And there goes James Robinson. He went out in a red blaze of glory. No way Beckham makes it back to me. There's just no way. All right, let's see if there's anyone I missed. Herbert, Logan Thomas. I could put Logan Thomas in. I could put Higbee in. I mean, I really could use a tight end, a top-level tight end. So if I'm between some guys that I don't like, and you know what? Michael Carter was still there. See, that's why it's good to add everyone. I could have seen that third running back and figured maybe one of them would have made it back. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty happy with Edmonds. Edmonds was a value. If you look at the draft board, Edmonds was a 6'5". I got him at 6'9". It's not a huge value, but it's a value. Better value than Beckham. And everyone else was gone at ADP. So we have blitz and blitzers. No Donner, but 2 blitzers. Love the puns today, guys. Ooh, it's me. Parker. Just don't draft Devontae Parker. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. All right, so I'm up next. So let's go back to the board. Sutton is there. And so is Robbie Anderson. So I'm going to get a running back. Sutton. I got 7% of, which is wild. So I had a lot of him. But the more I thought about it, Sutton and Anderson. And only 5% Robbie Anderson. Oh, man, I would have loved some Robbie Anderson. I could go with the correlation with Boyd. Let's look at the value. It's always good to scoop some value. So Sutton goes middle of the 7th. It's right around here. Juju goes in front of him. Boyd goes in front of that. So I'm going to go with Boyd. I think I got 2 really explosive wide receivers. He doesn't have the same bye week as the other 2. And he also has more of a floor where these guys have great ceilings. So I think he's a good fit for this team. He matches week 17 with Mahomes. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. All right. So I'm not going to take another quarterback unless his name is Jalen Hurts. He shouldn't make it back that far, but I'm looking for more Hurts. But I doubt I would still take him. Harris, Mostert, Connor, Moss. Wide receiver. We talked about this yesterday. This is a good range to add to your wide receivers. So that's why I could have gone tight end, but I just feel that it was too good a value. Gesicki or Smith. So now I'm looking at passing on tight ends again the next 2 picks, it looks like. So again, I'm not balanced because I don't have a tight end. It's not the end of the world. Because I have Mahomes, I can really hit tight end in that early to middle part of the teens of the double-digit rounds. I guess Danny likes Judy more than I do. All right. Questions? Anybody? No. All right. So let's go to that draft that I was going over. All right. So we talked about quarterback. Now let's look at running backs. Actually, wide receivers we're going to look at next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Most people would say take 7. I like taking more shots. I feel like a guy like Traquan and a guy like Crowder, you're going to be able to get on waivers. So we got 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total here. So this is a different problem. He's got 2 good ones, 2 okay ones. He's weak at wide receiver. But I can't complain about the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Amari Rogers. I'd rather take a shot on a high upside running back here than Amari Rogers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Van Jefferson in the last round. That's good. We'll look more at this team. Actually, let's do it now. It's more about your running back to wide receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's good. Tight end. All right. So he's a little Jonnu and Ertz. That's okay. I might have taken a third instead of like a Sterling Shepard, but that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go back here. 1, 2 good running backs, and then really load up. But I would have taken more. This is where this 3 quarterback stuff, you're not taking enough shots on running backs. An early tight end, and you still take 3, including Hooper. I don't get it. So the whole purpose of this is to kind of say, if you take an early tight end, you're betting, this team ain't going to win if Austin Hooper is playing instead of Kelsey for a bunch of weeks. So even taking Gesicki in the 9th, I think you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So this team put itself behind the 8 ball at quarterback. This team put itself behind the 8 ball at quarterback and at tight end. This team too. I like this team. The only thing is that quarterback thing. But you're betting a lot on Trevor Lawrence. But other than that, this construction is not bad. This team we just talked about, team 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. And again, right in the middle, like I don't have a problem with Troutman being your second tight end, but Ryan Tannehill in the 12th, I just don't get it. I mean, are you going to start him over Kyler Murray? Herbert and Jones, I said I didn't have a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 running backs. 2 of them early. James Robinson, who I like, Drake and Henderson. He's, it's just a little thin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide receivers. Again, I like Edwards. I like Amon-Ra Brown, but Jacoby Myers and Cole Beasley, are you going to start these guys early in the season? You're not. So I don't get it. And now he's out of balance. He's only got 5 running backs. They're good ones, but I don't love it personally. Waller and coming back with Hawkinson, let's see how that affected the team. He's okay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Took 2 shots late. It's less about who you take. 5, 6. Only 6. See, I like this. 2 quarterbacks because one of them he took early. Didn't take that early. 6 total wide receivers. Anybody he would have got, and then he stopped after round 14. 3 tight ends. Good construction. All right, let me look at the draft board. I'm up in 2 picks. Good timing. My spidey senses were tingling. So I've got 2 guys I like. I don't want to say. All right, so Carter was a pretty screaming value there. So I would have had to have considered him. Um, Mike Williams plays a couple times against Mahomes. Top guy on the board for me. That's kind of a no-brainer. So Mike Williams goes. Go back, see if anybody I missed that's up top here. No. All right. So I know who I'm hoping falls. Let's go back to this draft board. And you know what? We're going to do teammate after my next pick. Go real quick, see if there's any questions. Nope. And let's go. Antonio Brown went, who I would have considered. I threw Zach Moss in, but there's no way I'm taking Zach Moss. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really don't have enough players. Brown, Fuller. Oh, there, Marquise Brown. See, I hit on him, and he didn't go into the queue. So I got enough players now. It would hurt to have to take Jalen this early. Let's see what Hurts' value is. I probably can't do it, even though I want more Hurts, but it is a good value. 8.5. Well, that means 8.8. So great value on Jalen Hurts right now. But I have Mahomes, so I'm not going to take him. I just can't. I'm not taking one of the tight ends right now. So, two great wide receivers here. So I'll do good either way. Henry's up. Henry, don't snipe me, Henry. Let's see who's the better value. Fuller, end of the 9th. Marquise not till the 10th. Oh, it don't matter because the guy I wanted was James Conner. I've talked about stack cuffing. I don't do a ton of it. But James Conner and Eckler are on a high-powered offense. I don't know which one is being drafted too high and which one's being drafted too low. But I know if I draft them together and one of them gets hurt, there's a very good chance that the other one's going to crush. And there's a very good chance that on a week-to-week basis, one of them is going to give me a top 2 running back score. So now with my in best ball, with my running back 3 and my running back 4, I have gotten myself a really nice deal here. I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy. When I took Edmonds, it was with that in mind, figuring I could get him because he goes, I don't jump tiers, but he's been going in the 10th, but I've seen him go in the 9th and even earlier. Let me show you draft boards, best ball tournament, last 5 days. So he's gone as early as 8.5 and as late as 12.1. Very wide range, but average is 9.12. I'm very, very happy with my stack cuff right there. It's not a handcuff, it's a stack cuff. All right, running back, quarterbacks. I really don't want anyone even yet. Well, let's look. So I've got Ridley, I've got M. Will. So Matt Ryan can go in because I do have Ridley. A.J. Brown, he's gone already. Boyd, Burrow's gone already. So I'm not chasing that. Running back, I've already got 4. So I'm only going to pick a couple people here. But more will go. Brown, Landry, Hardman, Waddle, Gage, Mooney, and Davis. Tunyon, Jonnu, Troutman, Everett, Hunter Henry, Jarwin. Tight ends are going pretty early this draft. All right, so let's go look at my friends over at RotoViz. 2 running backs, only 2 wide receivers, 2 quarterbacks, taking them Rodgers very early. I mean, if they wanted him, he probably would have still been here now. I like Rodgers. I think he's going too late. This is the one thing I find with them is they're so willing to get their guys that sometimes they're giving up value that they could have gotten. And I know they don't care and that they're well thought out on it. I own 9.3% of Rodgers, so it was higher. I do like Rodgers. I wonder if he's been going earlier. Let me look. Yeah, he's been going earlier, significantly earlier. End of the 8th round. He's been going in the 10th round for a while. No wonder I haven't been getting him lately. All right, I take it back. He wouldn't have made it. And they wanted him, and they got him. And they got Joe Burrow, who I know they like. Elijah Moore and Jarvis Landry. Yeah, so I figured they were going to double up on wide receiver. They did. Pollard. Interesting. All right, so go back to this football guys draft. Teammate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers, and then they stopped. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they went with the 1 running back theory, modified 0 RB, and then they got Jamal, who gives them a floor, Edwards, who gives them a floor, Madison, who gives them a ceiling, Coleman, who gives them a very small floor, Bernard, Perrine, and Gurley. So I might not agree with the running backs, but I agree with the construction. Higbee and Ebron maybe a little weak at tight end. Burrow and Darnold, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I guess the running back, I just think they're a little too weak. Even going, but we'll see. A lot of people like Harris. All right, so I'm up next. Waddle's there, who I like. That's who I was going to take. So I did just get sniped. Tunyon was just so efficient last year. I don't know if you can count on that again. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. They need to address the position. He normally goes 10-4, and I'm drafting at 10-9. It's not that great of a deal. I'm going to take the more talented player. I'm going to take Hunter Henry. I like Hunter Henry more. I could end up regretting that, but Tunyon was just so efficient. I like him better as a second tight end. Waddle's going to be screaming at me if he comes back. Any running back screaming at me? No. I've got 4 good running backs now. I feel pretty good about my running backs. But the truth is, Edwards, Hines, Henderson, Latavius, and Madison are going to be next time. So I don't mind putting them in now. Oh, no, Adam Troutman went. I don't like Adam Troutman. I could end up regretting that decision later. That's one thing about me, folks. I know I might be wrong. I have been. So we go back, no questions. Four picks. Could go Matt Ryan, Jalen Waddle, 2 people I like a lot. Couple tight ends I like. So I'm going to get someone I like here. I'm not going to dip into the running backs, even though I like them, and I could just take my 5th and be done. I don't think this is a 4 running back team. We'll get to the end of those teams in a minute. Ooh, good value on Waddle. Not who I wanted, but good value on Waddle. I needed a second tight end. So Gerald Everett, who I almost took instead of Henry, I just took there. So I need to take a very quick break, and we will come back and finish this draft. All righty. So let's go back to this draft. I might have enough guys, but let me go back. Matt Ryan's there. Carson Wentz, I wouldn't mind. Running back, I already did. Wide receiver, Corey Davis, Bateman, Jones, Parker, Gabe Davis. Wouldn't mind Rondell or Hilton. So I got plenty of names in here. And tight end, Ferkser, Ertz. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad. Um, don't mind me. All right. So I didn't get Mecole Hardman. I have nobody. I have naked Mahomes. I wouldn't have loved that, but at 4.9, I still think it's allowed me to do some things. I've got 4 running backs that I feel really good about: Eckler, Jacobs, Edmonds, and Connor. It really is only 3 slots though, so I need a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4 very good wide receivers and 2 average tight ends. So it's not my favorite team. It's not like I've gotten a ton of value. The live drafts have gotten tougher lately, but I knew this was going to be a tough room. All right, we got a little bit of time. Let's go back. Team 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs and a couple late, shots in the dark. But again, I understand. I like Carson Wentz, but you don't have Ridley. Why Matt Ryan in the 14th round when you've got Hurts? Okay, I get it, because you've got Hurts. He's. But if you go with Hurts, I don't think, and you take Ryan, I think you stop. Just me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they did good stopping at wide receiver after they got here, and including 3 nice choices. Let's go to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They did exactly right. They took care of it early and then pounded it late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they didn't do enough at wide receiver to make up for it. When you go 3 here, you don't take 3 tight ends. I just don't. You just don't. Because then you're looking at Sanders and Brown as your backups. I think they've taken themselves out of this a little bit. It's not a bad team, but it could have been. I mean, what's Trey Lance doing there when you've got Russ and you've only got 3 wide receivers? I don't get that. And, so again, my point is so many teams are putting themselves behind the 8 ball in roster construction. You can make up for it with waivers. But when we get to the best ball, these kind of errors are deadly. All right, so Barkley at 111, Miles 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like AJ Green, but I don't think I would have taken him there. 3 tight ends, just Lamar. This is a good construction. I mean, this is a good constructed team. Butker and Cleveland are some of my favorite. Well, it's definitely one of my favorite defenses, and they got them in the 19th round. Ingram has questions, so yeah, you need 3 tight ends. That's a pretty good build, very good build. I don't love all the players, but I like the build. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why do you need the 7? You invested 3 of your first 4 picks in wide receivers. Now, I bet let's watch running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And no late ones. 3 late tight ends. And again, this is what happens when you pass on. They didn't pass on. See, they didn't get one here. Did they pass on one? Yeah. So in the 4th, they passed on Pitts, who never goes this late. Passed on Hawkinson, passed on Andrews. No way I'm passing on those 3 guys for Julio here. And then they come back with that. So, all right. So that's it for this draft. Only 2 of the 12 teams really get roster construction. There's a couple more that are okay, and there's a couple that are bad. So that's the advantage. That's the advantage. We really didn't even talk about players. All right, so I'm up in 4 picks. I would have liked Cole Kmet, but he went on IR. Get it, IR, the team. So One-Eyed Jacks. Let's see if he turns into One-Eyed Jerks and takes the guy I want. He did not. So Corey Davis, 12-9. Let's look up the value. Make sure he actually is a value. 12-2. Only 7 picks. I do need a fifth wide receiver. I think I've got I got a teardrop after Corey Davis. I mean, he's a guy who has talent to be a top 5 round guy. I know a lot of people are on Elijah Moore, but I'm going to take a chance and take him. I think that's the right call. Now I've got 4 real good running backs, 5 real good wide receivers. I've got 2 decent tight ends. I think I need a third tight end, but I might not. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Who does Arizona play again? I know this, but Cowboys. Yep. I thought of it 2 minutes ago. Well, there's no Cowboys to match him to. There goes Gronk. Devontae Parker I would have considered taking a 6th wide receiver. Dawson Knox, there you go. Because Dawson Knox wouldn't have been there 5 rounds later. I wonder if that was an error. He goes in the 16th round. And we're in the 13th round. I do have a tier break after Madison. So I have to consider him. And Madison. All right. So I wouldn't have said the name with Henry listening if I wanted him. The reason I mentioned him, and I do have a teardrop there after him, is I don't think he profiles well with the team that I've got right now. He's a guy that when you're really strong at running back, you're trying to catch lightning in the bottle with Madison. With this team, I feel like I need someone who has more of a floor than Madison does. And there are a few guys still out there. And if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. The guy I want to pair Anthony Firkser with A.J. Brown for a little mini Tennessee stack. The Titans. Let me go take him before I lose him. So got Mr. Firkser. And the Titans play, I just did this earlier. I'm getting old. The Dolphins. So I don't have any correlations, but that's okay. Week 17 correlations there's a lot of hope and prayer in those. All right. So got to start putting quarterbacks in the queue. Wentz, Tua, Mayfield, Fitz, Jones. I would even be okay with Carr or Ben or Darnold. Winston, I don't think in a two quarterback build. Zach Wilson, sure. With Mahomes, I can wait, and we'll see if I can get one of those guys. If not, well, then we'll just YOLO a little. Running back, I am not a Singletary guy. I'm not going to have a Singletary share. Lindsey, Bernard, White, Darrington, Tarek Cohen, Penny, Coleman. I think those are guys that all have pretty good floors for what you're going to get this late. Wide receiver, Bateman, I know, Hilton, Beasley, Gabe Davis, Paris Campbell, Terrace Marshall, Sterling Shepard, Christian Kirk to go with my other stack, Brian Edwards. So I got plenty of names to get through the next two picks. But if I do take a quarterback at 14-9, a bunch of the names will jump out. All right, let's get to the best ball draft. And I picked this at random. Oh, no, this one I didn't pick at random, but it was sent to me. Danny Muller was in this draft, and he talked about, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Dak, and Wilson with Dalvin. That's as close to collusion as I can see. So that's an abortion, and it throws off the whole draft. But still, let's look at how everyone dealt with it from a roster construction standpoint. Team 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 early running backs, and they took 6. No. If you take 4 early running backs, you either stop at 4 or take a 5th. Bad. Bad team. Bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. It's just bad. This team, he got McCaffrey, he got Mixon, he got Michael Thomas. He has that great start. And then he, Brady, Roethlisberger, 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends. He's got enough talent up top that he could actually somehow advance. But from a roster construction standpoint, this is terrible. Next team. 1, 2 tight ends. 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks. I get waiting, but Locke and Love, you really have 1 quarterback on this team. So that's bad. It's very bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 5, 8, 3, 5, 8, 2 is not terrible. It's within the realms of reality. But the 3 quarterbacks, I understand you wanted, you needed Ertz, but to me, getting, Brian Edwards here, when Goff and Wilson and Darnold, that's the end of the tier. You need a quarterback, dude. I like Brian Edwards as a flyer too, but all right. So you've got 2 teams out of the running. You've got really 3 teams from a roster construction percentage that have put themselves way behind the 8 ball. Team 4, Eckler, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he went 5, but he's only got 2 decent ones and a third that's okay. Lindsey's pretty good. He got lucky that Lindsey made it that long. He doesn't always. And a 5th, so he's weak at running back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He took 9 wide receivers, which is good, but it hurt him at running back. 2 tight ends is good, and 2 quarterbacks is good. So this is a pretty good team. Where it went off the rails to me is round 14, 15, and 16. There was still, Madison was there. Coleman. I just think you need another running back in here instead of Samaje Perine. But this is not a bad. This team, from a construction standpoint, is not out of the running. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 running backs, all early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love this. I love this. This is great. 1, 2. I don't get taking the third tight end when you have Kittle. Let's see if it bites them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. I think you got to take an eighth wide receiver here. Now, we're arguing about an 18th round pick. The rest of and he took 3 quarterbacks. So Jared Goff, I'm going to give this team a not great construction. He didn't finish. He started great, but he didn't finish the draft. So this is more like a C rather than a D or an E construction. But I think, you either don't take Hilton and you take one of these guys, or you stop at Carr. I mean, and you just YOLO it. You need a wide receiver. It got away from him at the end a little bit, but it's not bad. I mean, the running backs are rock solid construction, rock solid. 1, 2, 3 early, and then Gaskin, and then A.J. Dillon, a high upside 5th. You could have stopped at 4, but I love A.J. Dillon. I love his running backs. All right, I'm almost up. So I'm going to get a quarterback here. So let's start looking. Seattle, Jets, Mike Williams. So no. So there's no stacking here. Except for Wilson. If I wasn't podcasting, well, let's look. 14. 1, 2, 2. Let's see who else is there. I'm going to take Darrington, I think. It is Mahomes. I'll take a chance. And Darrington will give me a 5th useful running back for my construction. So Darrington's been going earlier and earlier. Yeah, right around where I took him, he's been going. But I see him going even the 13th round. So that's interesting. I knew that team needed a quarterback, so I'm okay with it. Everyone else that's in between me already has 2. So, I mean, if they really just want to be vindictive, they can take a couple of these quarterbacks. But other than that, all right. So now I need to take the running backs out of the queue. I'm done at running back. I've got 5. I've got 5 good enough ones. I'm done. So my construction right now is 1, 5, 5, 3. So this is looking like it's going to be a 2, 5 at 7, 10. Now it looks like I'm going to end up with 8 wide receivers. But when you look at my 8 wide receivers, I've got 2 very early ones, 2 middle round ones, Corey Davis, who I think is underappreciated. So I feel like I've got 5 good ones. Let's look over at my guys. They weaker at wide receiver than they normally are, but I know they like Elijah Moore and Rondell Moore a lot, two young up-and-comers. If those guys hit, this is good. And then they're doing the backup running back thing. DJ been falling. Singletary, I don't get Singletary, but and I do like Gio Bernard more than most. I like James White more, but all right. So here's the question: do I take Zach Wilson because I have Corey Davis? I don't have any Wilson shares. Just to have a stack, or do I take a guy like Tua, who I think has the better team? If he makes it, it's a tough decision. And I also like Darnold. Now Tua, is week 14, so I'm going to have to, that's a playoff week. So in the playoffs, but I've got Mahomes. If Mahomes doesn't bring me through week 14, then I ain't going to win anyway. I don't see, who does Tua have week 14? I mean, who does the Chiefs have week 14? That's a good question. They have the Raiders. All right. So, I'm going to take Tua here. I think he is the better chance of putting up usable weeks. And I think that Mahomes, this team ain't going anywhere if Mahomes gets hurt. And if Mahomes, he's got that fat matchup against Oakland week 14, and I can look to add some of the Las Vegas receivers. I don't mind doing a week 14 correlation. So I now take Carr, Darnold, Wilson out of the queue, and I just start. Oh, I don't even need to add to the queue, but I will. All right, so I've got a ton of receivers to take me the rest of the way, and it's I'm going receiver in 16, 17, and 18. I don't care who knows it. No questions. All right, back to that best ball draft. All right, so here's Danny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is Danny. No, Danny was 4. So my only minor complaint was that Perine's a little bit of a weak 5. We talked about that. 6. 6. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chubb is a little bit of a weak 5, but shooting for the stars. He's got 2 good ones, a decent one. A little weak at running back for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers, 3 quarterbacks, 4 tight ends. Ugh. And just shoot me late with Mo Alley and O.J. Howard. This is bad construction. All right, bad. So you guys get my point? How many teams are just taking themselves and putting themselves in position where, because of bad roster construction, they're going to need almost perfect picking. And, that's our edge. Our edge is that you do good roster construction, you do enough drafts, you mix your exposure, and hopefully you get that 15% win rate in first and 15 in second, and you get 30% of your teams into the playoffs. All right, team 7, Henry. Now I get it. Quarterback was crazy here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4. Okay, so this guy went hyper fragile with only one good running back. I mean, Damian Harris might be fine. Melvin and Edwards are okay. I mean, it's not an abortion, but I would have felt the need to add a 5th here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a Justin Herzig disciple, possibly. 2 tight ends, but they're not great tight ends, and 3 quarterbacks, but they're not great quarterbacks. I get it. Because of this guy, you have to take 3 quarterbacks. But I would have taken another running back myself. Not terrible, especially in this draft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he stopped. See, I don't get taking Zach Moss in the 6th round. I wouldn't take him in the 10th round. And you've already spent. Oh, this is just a screw up. Look, Adrian Peterson in the 4th round. Somebody should look at this draft. This draft had some real questionable things. I don't even want to, and 3 quarterbacks. I don't even want to discuss it. All right, 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. This makes 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. So that means you're going to be weak somewhere. Let's see where it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Running backs, 1, 2, and AJ Green made it to the 18th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 6 running back wide receivers. So that's the weakness here. In this draft, it might be okay. But in general, that's not what you want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. Hold on. All right. I got to go back and look. I'm almost up. I was strolling through the park one day. I don't know how that song got in my head. All right, so there's one running back I'm definitely going to take if he's there. If not, I am going to do something else that you guys will understand. Let's go back to this draft. I think you get my point. My point is that just how many of these teams don't have good construction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks. I get it that you had to go late, but dude, how are you going to, even if you get out of this league, how are you going to advance in a tournament like that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm up next. All right, so the guy I wanted made it. It's Bryan Edwards. So that was easy. All right. All right, so did I do it? Yeah, I did that team. All right, so 2 quarterbacks. Trey Lance is the second. It's a little risky, but you got a good A quarterback. So if you're going to take Trey Lance, this is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. And 2 of them are kind of not great. You took 3 early. I think you got to stop at 5 anyway. I get it that the tier break, but I don't see, this, if this was an FBG, but it's not. Where's James White? No, he went right before him. All right, it's not terrible, but I wouldn't have taken the 6. And then you've got 3 tight ends. So you're going to be short on wide receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers, including 1 who has a lot of questions and 2 who has a lot of questions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this team in this league, this team could do okay, but to try and get through the tournament again, your construction's going to kill you by only having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7's not bad, but Hurd is it's really almost like a 6 wide receiver team. It's one of the best out here. And I get it, Irv Smith, Troutman, you felt you needed Ferkser. That Devontae Booker pick again. I would have taken, Christian Kirk, Nelson Aguilar. Minor complaint, not a bad team. All right, let's see. I'm sure you guys can figure what I'm going to do here. I'm going to stack with my homies. All right, so I have way more Pringle than Demarcus Robinson, so this draft I'll have Demarcus Robinson. And there's a couple guys that I want more than Pringle coming back, possibly, but we'll see. If he makes it, it'll be tempting. Hard not to take him, but all right. Let's look at Team 12. Antonio Gibson, 2. James Robinson, Pollard, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yay, Team 12. All right, so you only went with 5, which is the right number. It's a modified 0 running back. Look at all the wide receivers. And then he basically stopped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He did take a 7th. I don't have a problem with that. Especially since he's got all this up here. And then you figure that all these tight ends that he took I might not have gone Arnold. I might have gone wide receiver here. AJ Green was gone. I don't know who was left. But look at these. So James Robinson is going to have the ball. Pollard is a great backup type. Hines is my favorite 0 running back. Floor with a great ceiling with an injury. Darrington Evans is a pass catcher. I mean, you could have gone with a 6th, but if Gibson is good, I think this is pretty good. I will say this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, and I get it. Juju is, yeah. I might have gone. 6. You can't pass up Jamar Chase in the early 6th. I could see passing up DJ Moore for Kareem Hunt but you don't know at this point what's going to happen. The only other thing I would say is he did see Justin Fields and Wentz. Oh my God, I didn't even notice. He's got terrible quarterbacks. This team could be killed by quarterbacks. So again, construction, round 5, you see there's a big tight end, a quarterback run. I don't know, buddy. This is not the draft to go 0 running back at when you see this. All right, that's going to do it for that, and we're almost done for the show. I'm going to take my last pick in a couple seconds. I'm going to see if there's any last questions. There's not. Nice build, Todd. I like the Davis pick. I like the Evans pick. Thank you. I think I have pretty good construction here. I'm not going to review the whole draft. I talked about some of the other teams, but I will really quickly talk about Danny's team because Danny's such a good drafter. So 2 quarterbacks, including Lance is the number 2. Lance scares me, but I get it. You're trying to win $100,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. I would have, would have liked to see a 5th here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 2. Yeah, so the tight end's good. quarterback's good. I just don't know that I'm comfortable with those 4 running backs, Danny. My 2 cents for what it's worth. You know how much I respect you, buddy. Danny and I actually talked on the phone today, got to know each other. What a wonderful guy. But just a wonderful guy. All right. So let's see. 10 to go. Let's see who makes it to me. Let's review my bye weeks at running back, at wide receiver, that is. So back to Danny. We look at, I get the whole fragile for running backs, but, when you listen to Justin Herzog, Herzig, he says you got to take 4 early. And Jamal and Latavius aren't early. They're both backup types with okay floors and good ceilings. I would have felt it necessary to take a 5th. Maybe James White instead of Manny. That's what I would have done. I would have taken James White. I could tell you, I'm not on Manny. And James White, he didn't have a stack. All right, let's look at the RotoViz boys. They're back taking wide receivers. Hamler, I like. Dynamic Brown, I need to watch some more of him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. But see, they're going to get, and this is something people don't understand, they're going to get flex weeks out of Fant or Andrews pretty regularly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a very sneaky build, professionally made build, just like you would expect from these guys. It's not one that I like doing, but it is a very, very kind of ingenious little build when you've got these 2 young wide receivers, and you take the 2 tight ends and the 2 quarterbacks early, which I know they like doing, because I'm a dedicated RotoViz subscriber for many years. And the research does show for best ball, if you're going to take 2 quarterbacks, have them be good quarterbacks, or 1 great one, and that's what I did. I have 1 great one and 1 okay one. All right, so I'm up next. All right, so I'm either going to get the guy that I wanted to start adding, or I'm going to get Pringle, who gives me the stack. So I can't lose. So I don't mind mentioning that I probably would go Pringle here if he's there, but if not, I'm going to take Kendrick Bourne. Oh, man, Perriman's there too. Well, Pringle's there, so I don't have to worry about it. Get me a late Mahomes stack to finish this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I feel good about this. Feel better about this team than the one I drafted yesterday. That's going to do it, folks. Well, let's look at can't believe Blitzers went hyper fragile with Kareem Hunt at number 2. Well, that's what I was just saying. I mean, it's not for me. But Danny's a really smart guy, so I give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's not for me. Let's look at your team again, Jay Smith, and since you got involved. He went hyper fragile, but I think he said he was. What team are you again? Bucks chance. There you are. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, you didn't, bud. You didn't. You went hyper fragile, but you got 2 running backs who might not contribute enough. Fournette, we know that week in, week out, he might not. Barkley coming off an injury. Akers at 2-3 is a good pick. I just third quarterback, 3 tight ends late. Yeah, I think you overdid it at wide receiver. You know, the whole thing. Again, people don't listen to Justin when he talks. The whole strategy is interconnected, and I think one of the things that you missed here, and I'm only saying this to help you to be better, is that you take all the wide receivers late. You get your 4 early running backs, and then you load up with wide receivers late because of how freaky they are with big scores. So when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row here, I don't know how you come back with Marquise Brown when Pollard's on the board, when Hines is on the board. Just not for me, bud. Good luck with the team, but if you weren't on here, I'd be saying from a roster construction standpoint, you were in trouble. All right, let's do that. Let's go through real quick and do it for this draft. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But out of the 5, I'm just going to really just point out something on each draft. But out of the 5, Darrell Williams and Justin Jackson have no role, and we don't know what Gordon's role is. So I get it. You've got McCaffrey and Mixon, and you're betting your team on those two. But I still would have felt the need to, I get it. Hurts. I like Hurts a lot. But Troutman, Cook, Gronk, and you needed your tight ends, and then you felt you needed some more wide receivers, and then there was nothing left. This team, if Mixon and McCaffrey play 16 games and give you the 2, so it's not as bad as I thought because he's got CMC and Mixon, but still it's a weakness. Kelsey and Knox, I said it at the time, I don't get Knox as the number 2, but this team is going to depend here. Edwards, Hilaire. So I don't get taking Chase at 4-2 when Mahomes is decent value. Oh, okay, coming back. Oh, boy, you must have been pissed when I took Mahomes. And he came back with Kyler, so you definitely wanted it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. 2 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. Again, with Kyler, I don't think you need Taysom, but all right. Let me look at my boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roster construction wise, I get going 3 tight ends and not throwing in the last. I just don't know if your running backs are going to be strong enough. But I'm not a Moss guy. But it's good construction overall. I think going 3 tight ends and only. I think the 6th running back is the problem. I think you needed another wide receiver there, and then just hope that these guys fill in for those guys. All right, me. You'll notice 2 quarterbacks. I took one early, so I took one late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 is considered optimal, but I wasn't happy with my 2 tight ends, so I felt I needed a 3rd. And because of 2 flexes, then it's almost like one of these can be your 9th wide receiver. All right, so I think and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stopped in the 14th round, and I've got the stack of Edmonds and Connor, so it's like I've got 3 really good ones, and there's going to be weeks when both of these guys score enough to be in your roster. So I'm very happy with my roster construction here, considering I took an early quarterback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Gainwell is 6. I think you got to stop. I think you got to stop. I understand Gainwell, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's not enough wide receivers. Not for the ideal construction. You only have to start 2. So I say this, but Julio's going to miss some games. Marshall, we don't know about. Davis is a good pick, and we don't know about Amon. I think you needed more wide receivers here. I give that a half knock. 2 tight ends. Why do you need a 3rd? You go with Waller and Pitts. This team, and OJ Howard is your 3rd. Is he going to play? How much is he going to play? 3 quarterbacks when you've got, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least he's got 4 good ones, that you can mostly count on. But I just small things with this team. But taking OJ Howard and Cam Newton instead of OJ Howard instead of Darrington Evans, thank you, or Lindsey, I don't get it. All right, 3, 4, and he did come back. Oh, he came back with 2 more. Why do you need 6 when you start with 3? You don't. You don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're weaker there. 3 tight ends, I get, and 3 quarterbacks, I don't get. In this build, I'm going to put you on IR. Blitzers, we already covered. Great roster construction. I just don't love the running backs for the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, he waited too late for second tight end. That's really the only problem with this team, construction-wise. If Goddard doesn't do it, you're going to probably be in trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where I look and I see Ruggs. Ruggs was a luxury pick here. And I think if you had taken another running back, my boy Hines was there. So swap Hines for Ruggs. And now you can stop after Edwards. Damian Williams, I know Tarek Cohen is not great right now, but so maybe. I mean, I had a ton of Damian last year. But if that, and then you could have gone with, one of these wide receivers, Edwards. Not terrible. Loot takers, not terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, hyper fragile. We went over Bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, the win rates on 6 for this are bad. So you've got 6. Booker is your 6th. 2 tight ends. I think you do need 3 quarterbacks here. But now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't have taken Devontae Booker. I mean, if all you're complaining about is Devontae Booker instead of a wide receiver, it's not a bad draft. Certainly didn't eliminate himself. And really good roster construction, like I talked about from the RotoViz guys. And it's well researched, that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went 7 running backs, which I got to admit, that surprises me a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. It'll be interesting. It'll be different. And they they've well researched it and they know their players. All right, that's it. That's it for today. Let's look at the questions. Henry's here now. He took Cohen because the week 7 bye. Didn't want to do it, but only had 2 running backs week 7. Tight ends get hurt a lot, so I don't like going 2 unless I have one of Kelce or Waller. I think Henry in this. I mean 3 again. I've said it before. I say it to my own partner at times. The 3rd tight end is also a flex if he catches enough. If he's a 40 to 45 catch guy, I don't consider Dan Arnold that guy. I think Dan Arnold is a hope and pray. He catches 30 to 40. But if you get a 45 to 50 catch guy, I think it's pretty good. So that's that. All right, that's going to do it, folks. Thanks to my friends at the FFPC. Back with Billy Musio coming up pretty soon. Got Dwayne McFarland coming on the show. A lot of exciting things. Hope I didn't offend anyone. If I did, it was only to make everyone better. I'll see you later.